About 120 million people in tropical and subtropical areas globally are infected with lymphatic filariasis, commonly called elephantiasis, a condition characterized by swollen legs, arms, and even reproductive organs. Its economic implication on individual victims and countries is huge due to inability of infected persons to work. Thankfully, researchers from Ghana and Germany are reporting discovery of a cure in a joint initiative. Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, as well as the Institute of Medical Microbiology, Immunology and Parasitology, University of Bonn, are behind the feat. Love FM's Kwesi Deborah traces how the scientists made the medical breakthrough.
When you say lymphatic filariasis, it is a worm disease caused by Uchira bankruptcy and Bugia malaria. But in West Africa or in Africa, it is basically caused by Uchira bankruptcy.
Professor Alexander Yaudebra is principal investigator at the Filariasis Project Ghana.
It is found in Africa, Asia, and Pacific. And so far, it is estimated that about 140 million people are infected, and about 1.2 billion people are, at risk. And in Ghana, for instance, it is found in all the northern regions, the 3 northern regions, and it's also found in the western region, Isma East and Ahanta West District.
The disease is marked by severe swelling in the arms, legs, breast in women, and genitals in men.
And when we have the infection, it leads to what is called lymphedema, which could eventually lead to elephantiasis of the leg or elephantiasis of the scrotum.
The lymph system maintains the body's fluid balance and fights infection. Surprisingly, that is the abode of filaria, thread-like worms which cause lymphatic filariasis, globally called elephantiasis. Filaria has a pretty interesting lifetime. Mating between male and female worms produces thousands of young ones known as microfilaria. Mosquitoes are transmitting agents from person to person through bites. Mosquitoes take up the worms which rest, develop, and subsequently are injected into human skin by the blood-sucking insect. Professor Deborah's counterpart in the Filariasis project in Germany is Professor Akim Horaf.
And then it takes like a year for this little tiny worm to grow to a length of this. 30 centimeters is no exception. And then these adult worms, they live for 10 years, 15 years.
In 2015, Japanese biochemist Satoshi Omura and Irish-American biologist William Cecil Campbell were awarded with the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for the discovery of the drug ivermectin. Ivermectin is for treating parasite infestations such as head lice, onchocerciasis or river blindness, and lymphatic filariasis. Scientists for years have been using ivermectin to kill young parasites, but adults were unfazed.
Ivermectin is a wonderful drug. It is used to kill the worm larvae, and it can do that with just one single dose.
But has no effect on the adult worms. So if you are infected, you have to remember to take ivermectin every year for about 10 years.
After a series of research to find ways of breaking its shield, the scientists finally discovered filaria survived on another agent. So filaria was more like the 2IC. The real commander, known as Wolbachia, with strong mutual relationship with filaria, remained elusive.
Neither the worm nor the bacteria can live alone. They need each other. And the worm provides the bacteria with some metabolites, some amino acids, so that they can grow the bacteria. And the bacteria, in turn, provides the worm with some metabolites that they need for their baby worms and also for their oxygen consumption.
The scientists found shooting Wolbachia with antibiotics like doxycycline means filaria can't produce. Eventually, it dies. Simple. Perhaps the scientists took a lesson from the biblical book of Zechariah. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. But that is not all. To doxycycline, the scientists are using one stone to kill two birds.
If you have elephantiasis, or if your legs start developing and you go to the hospital, they tell you there is no drug. They only give you paracetamol and other painkillers. So we did genetic analysis and we saw, at least we were able to identify markers which were responsible for the development of the elephantiasis. And we saw that the same drug that we used to kill the adult worm can be used to reduce these biomarkers. So we tried, we did a clinical trial. We treated about 260 patients. We gave them this drug for 6 weeks. And 2 years after, we saw that those with lower stage of elephantiasis, their legs, reverted. Now, more importantly, for the patients, what troubles them most is not even the size of the leg, but periodic attacks that they get. When they get this attack, they become bedridden. They are not able to go to their farms or fishing. They become dependent. But when we gave them a drug, 5 years after, when we went, some of them told us that for 5 years they have not experienced any attack.
They are also improving on surveillance so more cases can be detected and treated. The scientists are relying on the most formidable tool in the digital age, mobile phone. Dr. Linda Bachadebra is lead researcher.
There's a system that the government is using, which is a mass drug administration process, whereby every year or biannually, people who are in communities that have the disease are treated. They are given some medication. And then when they are being treated, those who have scrotal swelling and limb swelling are also identified. I realized that when it happens like that, you are not able to get the real number of people who are infected. And so with the increasing usage of mobile technology, which almost everybody has now, we decided to go into their communities, introduce them to the use of mobile technology. Our first pilot work was done 4 years ago with the Liverpool School of Tropical Medicine. And then we train the community health volunteers who distribute the drugs on how to use mobile phone text messaging to report cases that they identify within their communities. We got a good success. We got a lot of cases that are more than what they usually do. But what we realized was that volunteers who were illiterate could not report properly. So we partnered with our local-based industry, and this is a group which we call the Voto Mobile. Now they have changed their name, so they call themselves the VIAMO. Okay, so they have a system that is web-based, and so it gets connected to the local telecommunication networks through a series of virtual private networks so that it is able to transmit and receive information. And within that system, they have an interactive voice response in there. So we collaborated with them, and we were able to provide some form of algorithm with regards to identification of the various cases. When we compare within that same year with the number of cases that were identified by the routine system in the Ghana Health Service, we had a lot more cases than what had been previously reported.
The filariasis research collaboration is in its 20th year, and scientists look forward to more improvement. The project has received funding from the European Development Countries Clinical Trials Partnership to test the efficacy of some anti-war backyard drugs for 1 or 2 weeks.
We will try to develop new drugs that may do the job that doxycycline does wonderfully in a shorter time frame. For doxycycline, you still need to treat 4 to 5 weeks. And if you could shorten that to, say, 1 week or 2 weeks, it would be much more beneficial because you could give the treatment to more people because it doesn't last that long.
Professor Richard Odame Phillips is director of the Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research.
We are looking at a multidisciplinary approach rather than just looking at one aspect of these diseases. And you hear the word neglected. Neglected meaning that there's very little in terms of funding. It's a poverty-related disease, and still a lot has to be done.
For JoyNews, Kwesi Deborah, Kumasi.